According to pundits, the best right backs in the Premier League this season have been Ola Aina, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Tino Livramento, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And would it be too far-fetched to say Jurrien Timber has been better than every single one of those names? I don't think it would be. Coming off the back of an ACL, nobody knew how Jurrien Timber would play. But I can tell you one thing for sure, he has shown every bit of quality in every single part of his game. And if a team of the season was to be done right now, I definitely have Jurrien Timber at right back. So let us look at those defensive stats. He averages 2.08 tackles per game, which is the 70th percentile of defenders in the Premier League. He has 0.89 interceptions per game, which is the 65th percentile of Premier League defenders. 4.72 ground joules won per 90, 0.6 aerial joules won per 90, and he's only been dribbled past 0.34 times per 90, which is the 74th percentile. And this is where I want to stop and talk about it, because Jurrien Timber 1v1 is one of the best defenders, I think, in the world. I really do rate him that highly. Just look at these clips that I'll put on the screen. Look at the distance he has between him and the attacker. He always knows how to sort of gauge those distances, to not give the attacker too much room to attack him, but then also to leave himself room so he can pounce in and then recover if he doesn't make the tackle. And having that as a defender, as a right back, is very, very good. He stopped some of the best wingers that we have seen in the Premier League in Mo Salah. He stopped Bradley Barcola, one of the best wingers. We saw how big of a difference he made for PSG against Liverpool. So I feel like his defensive work during Timber is just absolutely incredible. Look at the way he just really uses his body. Having such a small frame enables him to be nifty and flexible and agile, which is a very, very important aspect of our game, because many times down that right hand side, we know Ben White is a quality player, but Jurrien Timber's tenacity, his distances, his defensive contribution against very tricky wingers has been pivotal to our success in an injury-riddled season. Another key aspect of Jurrien's game is his ball carrying, and I think this is where he really excels against other fullbacks, because in terms of his statistics, he has 1.83 dribbles per 90, which puts him in the 72nd percentile, and 22 successful dribbles this season in the Premier League, which is the 75th percentile, and a 51% dribble success rate. So very, very strong statistics there. You know, he's really confident. He likes to pick up the ball in deeper areas, and he really helps us excel, because sometimes you need to break down teams with the way you dribble with the ball. I have many examples come to mind. Chelsea away from home, the way he would pick the ball up and dribble. Newcastle away from home as well. These are really tough grounds, and Jurrien Timber would take up the responsibility to pick up the ball and run with it. And it would open up passing lanes. It would open up areas for other players to move, and for a fullback to be able to have this in his locker, it is very, very impressive. And he's just so strong, and he's so powerful when he does drive with the ball as well. We all remember the assist he got against Manchester United as well, setting up Declan Rice. Really good play, you know, getting into that position in the first place, then having the composure to pick out his man. That pretty much sums up Jurrien Timber. He's just so confident, so courageous in the way he is on the ball, and he wants to be able to contribute going forward, because initially when Jurrien was signed, we didn't expect him to be the marauding, forward-thinking fullback, but Mikel Arteta has certainly molded him into somebody who can contribute in the final third and help us. And this is so key into making him probably on form the best right back in the Premier League. Finally, the last key part of Jurrien Timber's game is obviously how good he is on the ball individually, creatively. We've talked about ball carrying and the spaces that opens up, but he's had 16 key passes this season and an 87% pass completion rate with 2 assists. Okay, 2 assists may not stand out to you, but the amount of times he's got into positions and created opportunities and put dangerous balls across the box, it's enough to suggest that he can contribute in this area of the pitch. And what better to have a fullback like Ben White did for us last season that can also contribute in the final third. I talked about the United assist, which was really, really good to Declan Rice. But Timber is repeating these actions. And when you have a player repeating actions and doing the same thing over and over again, it shows that they have that quality and they have that as a key part of their game. It's not just luck. It's not by hook or by crook that they're in these situations. It's by pure intelligence and pure instinct. And Arsenal have certainly needed a right back who plays off of pure instinct. And this is what makes him, so good against the rest of the right backs this season. I feel like if you look at the names that I said at the start of the video, they are great. Trent, fantastic on the ball. We know he's a different league to everyone else. But if you don't have that on the ball quality, then do you have the intelligence to put yourselves in situations where you can make the passes you can make? And I feel like with Jurrien Timber this season, we've been seeing a lot of that intelligence used to get into situations, to put dangerous crosses he knows he can make. And that is just why I'm so impressed with him, off the back of an ACL injury, to have the courage, to have the belief and the confidence to get into outside of your comfort zone. This was a centre-back before he joined us, but he wants to influence in these right-back areas. He wants to defend 1v1. He wants to take responsibility and drive with the ball. In an injury-ridden Arsenal season where he would have played a lot more minutes than we should have had from him this season, he should have been sharing the load with Tomiyasu and Ben White, but he's not sulked, he's not complained, he stayed fit, he stayed confident, and this is all you want to see from your right back. And I want to play this clip sort of quickly from Mikel Arteta talking about Jurrien Timber. And bear in mind, this clip was taken before Jurrien Timber had kicked a ball for us following the ACL injury.
Yes, key. Well, it's an unbelievable player that is already earned the respect and admiration of all of us without playing. So that's unbelievable thing to do after only one season. So yeah, we're all desperate to have him on that pitch. His leadership, his skill, his composure, the way he competes, his intelligence, I think is going to bring so much to the team. The teammates love him, he makes them better. It's, the way he coaches, he leads. He's the first one there. He loves the game. He wants to improve. It's an unbelievable player, and let's make sure that he has the right consistency in the team, and is going to have a huge impact.
You can just tell the way Mikel Arteta is talking about him. How can such a person impact a group of players without kicking a ball? It just goes to show, on the pitch, fantastic, but off the pitch as well, he has that personality, the hunger. He loves the game, as Mikel Arteta has said. And it's not easy to find players like that, pure footballers. Jurrien Timber, I think, for me, is one of maybe two players alongside Declan Rice that I would say can play every single position on the pitch. I would happily have him play every position on the pitch, and Calafiori as well. Those guys, for me, are pure footballers that can play all over the pitch due to how intelligent they are, due to how fluid they are, due to how confident they are. It is not normal what we're seeing from Jurrien Timber. And I feel like a lot of people are forgetting how young he is because he's so mature. He's only 23 years of age. And you're thinking the levels he's shown this season, it's scary. And I just wanted to make a video because I feel like he needs to be hyped up more. In a battle for the best right back this season, we haven't seen Trent to the best levels. We haven't seen James stay fit. Livramento's been good in parts for Newcastle. Ola Aina has probably been the most stand-up right back in the division. I feel like Jurrien Timber has to have his name in the conversation. And if it isn't just me, maybe other people as well, he deserves to be there. He simply does. Consistency-wise, responsibility-wise, stepping up off the back of a horrible ACL injury. It just completely makes sense. And I look at the Real Madrid game in a couple of weeks' time, and I look at what player in the Arsenal team can stop a Madrid player 1v1. And I'm looking at Jurrien Timber. I'm confident in Jurrien Timber. I'm almost saying I expect Jurrien Timber to win those duels. And that just goes to show that he's the best right back in the Premier League, but maybe even in the world right now.